Alright, so you can see I'm getting my tape lines all done. This gap seems to be much better. Went ahead and ran a tape line down the entire car. You really can't even see it until I pull this down. But there is a piece of tape right here going down this whole body line. So the reason I'm doing that, we're doing these concave style body lines. It's really, really important that when we're sanding to the tape line. That's what Dave was telling me. So realistically, we want to tape line this entire line all the way down the car. The one mistake that I am making right now is I should have the front fender on the car. That's already painted. So downside of that is I have a very sneaky suspicion that once we go to hang the fenders, the line won't match. So what we're gonna have to do at that point is reblock that line and repaint the front fenders to match the rest of the car, which is not the end of the world, but we are gonna be hanging the whole front clip on the car one last time before we finally paint the rest of the car. So if we have to fix the line, we can at that point, but we made the mistake, or I made the mistake of having the fenders painted before the rest of the car. My fault. But you can see this line is literally like dead straight all the way down. So now the other thing I'll do is I'll take this and I'll cut that. So now I can open and close the door and not have to worry about that. So when Dave's sanding the top side of that line, it's not gonna bow or anything weird. So we'll know that that body line's laser straight. Because you'll see cars, you look up and down them, they'll be wavy all the way up and down. It's because people don't have a reference line to sand to. So they're just kind of sanding to what they think is the correct line. You need to give yourself a reference line so you know where the actual line of the car is. So that's where the tape line is really nice. Definitely important. But yeah, you can see that line is way, way better. So I'll let Dave sand this, then we'll come back and I'll show you guys the kind of after. So one of the last things that we're doing is kind of getting the quarter panel straight and all the gaps in the body line straight before we pin and pull the trunk off and shoot it. So the one thing that we're noticing is it's a good tight fit. This point is not straight. You can see a dip right there, so we gotta fix that. And then the line is a little bit too tight. So essentially, this is not just a show car. I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna drive the crap out of this car. So if I'm pulling into a very off-camera driveway, it will shift the quarter and push the trunk lid into the quarter panel and crack the paint, which is not what we want. There's a difference between your show cars that sit and do nothing all day and actual drivers. Drivers, you should probably open gaps a little bit more so things can move around without having things crack. I guess we're using this guy. This is your hog, huh?
The hog, I'm gonna sand it straight with it.
So that's 40 grit. So what we're gonna do is just basically go down the whole thing, take the material off to keep it straight, and then I'll re-weld that and re-grind it.
Yep.
Howdy. Nice. One of us got jammed. So now they literally have to take off 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 inch in some spots. You can see almost nothing up here. But you can see it bows out. So that's kind of what we're changing. So we're on the 40 grit up and down this thing. It's gonna split this a bunch, but I've welded it in the past. So now what I need to do is grind this down to where it fits flush. I'd like to TIG weld it. I don't think that's gonna happen because I don't know. Do we have the TIG set up? Yeah. I guess I could TIG it. TIGging it would be a lot easier on a panel like this because MIGging it, the wire's too long and it slags or just something weird. This is something you'd want to put some heat in it and just dab a little bit and then move and dab a little bit. The edge of panels, I've TIG welded the front door on this car. The front edge was broken. Like cracks in panels are good with TIG because you can do low heat and you can control it very slowly. So I'll probably do that up and down on it so I can use less filler. I don't want to just jam a bunch of MIG filler wire in this thing and hope it works. So I'm gonna get after that and try to get this thing fixed. I think for the amount of heat that I'm gonna have to put in this to TIG this, it's gonna make more sense to zap it with a MIG gun and go up and down it and then grind it that way. Because the problem with the TIG is the TIG's gonna slowly start to build heat up and all of the primer that's on this is gonna curl back. Regardless, I'm gonna have to sand it and strip it, but it's not happy. I'll try it a little bit more and see if I can get it. Being there's 3 layers of metal here, getting them all perfectly clean is super difficult. So we'll see if I can get it, but I don't think it's gonna want to do it. with this thing, getting ready to get the trunk fitted a little bit. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of how, once you get the line done, how we're actually gonna gap it. If I shut this, see it's really nice right here. This is really good, but it's down, it's low right in this section. So what we do is just take a towel or a jacket, and then I'll pop the trunk open, slip that guy in. Essentially what you'd be doing is just getting that. I usually roll it up, but just for kind of just demonstration. And then I'm essentially gonna try to close the trunk onto this. It sounds dumb, but if you really pry on this thing, what it's gonna do is it's gonna fold that edge up. If I give this like a good little, pushing it pretty hard, lift it up, pop it out. Now that gap fits like literally perfect. Like I said, it sounds stupid, but it works. So that's kind of what I've been doing, is going around this thing. I can still see it's high, low, high. So I'm gonna go right there a little bit more. Dave's making a custom block right here. So what we did is tape that off, and this is gonna give us our perfect body line. So he's making a block. So we're gonna cut this up, peel this off, and then just keep the base part of the spray foam, and that'll give us something to wrap the tape on, and then you'll basically line it from the back of the car all the way to the front, and that'll give us a perfect line from front to back. That's after we've done all of our, you know, high and low spots across the car. So this is really just getting that edge right in the channel. So that's how we're gonna get it. It's just by going up and down it a couple times, like a custom block. And at that point, pretty much ready to just finish fitting the trunk. And I think we're about ready. So we got a couple spots on the roof to fix, unfortunately. We saw right here, we had a part fail, so we're fixing that. And I think there's one more spot that's not failing, but there's a dent that I found on the top part of the roof that I want to fix while we're here. It's something that probably only I would notice and Dave would notice, but if people actually know what they're looking at, you would barely see a low spot in the roof, and it's black, so it's a mirror. So we're gonna fix it while we're here. It's gonna come off in one piece. It's gonna want to break it in half, huh?
I don't want to break it. I need it.
Be easier to probably pull the tape off with it, huh?
That's what I do.
Yeah. There we go. Good. So what we ended up doing is having, it's a nice thing you have a carpenter next to you. You shape your own block. So we went ahead and we planed this to where it has the right contour and shape of the body line on the car. Really, it's this top line, that's the hardest one. It's the most predominant one that you see. So the unit next door went ahead and made us a custom block. Yeah, the right and like perfect, most impressive way to do this is 3D scanning it and then 3D printing it. I don't have that option. Tried doing, basically gave a spray foam template to Lee next door, and then he basically gave us a block out of wood, and then we kept planing it back and changing the angle on it until we got to what we wanted. So you can do that with a bunch of different materials, but essentially making your own block to fit the contour, because we've got it pretty close. So now at this point, we're gonna glide that block up and down, and that'll give us that razor sharp line. So when anybody cares to check our work and gets down as low as this car is gonna sit and wants to look at that line's gonna be dead straight. And so then with guide coding, you can really see where the highs and lows are. Because we've already got this thing straight, but this really shows you what is and is not straight. And this is essentially carving that line into the car. So, because there's spots that are just barely little wiggles up and down this thing. So this is going to guarantee that that line stays perfect up and down that car. Yeah, you can see it's close, but some spots aren't perfect. So that's what this block's for. I can't believe I just missed that. You're such an idiot. How's cutting that box going?
Really good.
Good?
Super good.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Get back in there. It's
Yeah.
cold. Alright, have fun.
Get out of my home.
So, hey dude, this is the high rent district in California. This thing's probably $1,300 a month.
This is literally like $1,200 right here. I go back to work now.
Cab over here. Galaxie's over there ready to get the quarter panel wrapped up, and then I'm putting a windshield in this thing because it was trash before. And then I noticed there's a nice rust hole right there. And the old windshield had a big crack. Well, I cracked it a bunch more, but which was super annoying. So it's gonna get a fresh windshield, which I'm super hyped about. I have not had a brand new windshield in any of these trucks, which is sweet. So I'll have a nice freshie in this thing. And actually drive it. The next thing I'll need to do is get all this horrible tint off and put some fresh tint from the guys over at Tint Man and get this thing limoed out, and I think it'll look pretty badass. You guys are probably gonna complain because I'm getting rid of the purple tint, but gosh, I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it so much. All right, I'm gonna get back on the Galaxie once I get this thing wrapped up. All right, for those of you who have always wondered, because I know so many people have this problem, dead side dash, rotted, Bondo-filled pile of crap cab, actually shares the same windshield, and front of the dash does relatively line up. So I'm gonna graft that in, stitch it in, and we'll have a new windshield ready to go on this truck. Got our dash piece test fit. Doesn't look too bad, fits pretty good up top. All I gotta do is push this down, I'll cut this line, I'll test fit this line, and then put it in. Already POR15 the backside, so it's all clean in there. Slide that thing in and test fit it, so I'm gonna get this bastard welded so I can get this thing done. Alrighty, kind of ran out of time, but it is done. So you got it all done up right there. It's all fresh. Pretty damn good. You can see I warped it pretty bad just because I didn't have enough time. Fresh piece, got it done. So we're gonna go and get the glass in. He's getting the trim on it right now. We're gonna pop in and have a fresh windshield this thing. I'm stoked. So he's getting the trim on it right now. But this thing is gonna look good. Pretty much where we want it. There's a couple more lines we're gonna do, so we kind of went ahead and skimmed the whole thing one more time, and it's finally getting there. So we're really just doing all the edges, making sure the edges are perfect. So you can see we've got a little bit more work right here to do. Touch that up, but this line is really, really good. Surface is really, really good, and overall this is just taking way better shape. See, there's a low spot still right here. So we're just overall finding all the little minimalistic things that the human eye will very rarely ever notice unless you have a trained eye to really know what you're looking at. You're never going to see any of this stuff. So we could paint this right now. It would look absolutely perfect, but to that trained eye, it's not quite perfect. So that, as well as the line, we're gonna tie up in the next video. I spent way too many days on this thing. I probably spent like 2 weeks straight on this car with Dave, helping him work on it, on and off of other projects. Obviously, you can see there's a ton of vehicles here. I got the crew cab's glass in. That thing came out really, really good. It's got a fresh windshield in it. You can actually see out of it now. Hell yeah. So that thing looks pretty damn good. But yeah, the Galaxie. We are getting onward with this thing. So I'm gonna pick you guys up in the next video with this thing where we get this thing primered, get the last bits of bodywork. I'm gonna keep saying the last bits of bodywork until it's done. I don't know how much more it's gonna take realistically at this point. The deadline is it's done when it's right, because I want this thing to be right. So hope you guys want to enjoy today's video. Hope you guys learned a thing or two. I'm trying to give as many tips as I can while I see them, because I'm learning with Dave. Dave's teaching me a lot with this car. I want to kind of push some of that information on to you guys. If you have your own projects, you can see how to do them. So realistically, I think I'll go over a couple more tips in the upcoming videos on how we're doing some of this stuff. But either way, you know, try it, use the right tools and the right technique will save you tons of time, so you're not doing it 6 times like I am. So, but it's gonna be nice, it's gonna be right. The lines are really, really nice on this car. Either way, hope you guys went to enjoy today's video. Grab the merchandise. You can see I'm wearing the new hoodie right now. You can grab this stuff at 909speedcompany.com. We have a limited stock left just in time for Christmas and New Year, so go down in the description and grab that stuff. You guys can go ahead and see all the behind the scenes stuff with this car, as well as I'll be revealing the actual color of this car on the Patreon, so go ahead and check that stuff out as well. And that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.
Why? Why are you doing this to me? No pressure at all. Drop it.